All right, guys, here is question 6. Question 6 was a probability question. Now, it reads as follows. 6.1, in a random experiment, A and B are two different events. All right, then they are saying, suppose probability of A is 0.4, probability of B is K. So now they are saying here 6.1.1, if probability of A or B is given by 0.6, for which value of K is probability of A and E mutually exclusive, right? So 6.1.1, you would remember, guys, with mutually exclusive event, it means now there is no intersection. So it means by definition probability of A or B is equal to probability of A is equals to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. But however, we know because they said mutually exclusive events, this is equal to 0. So therefore you only want to be left with this. So probability of A or B is what is 0.6 is equals to probability of A is 0.4, probability of B is equals to K. So here is just 0. So now we need to find what is probability of K. In this case, we're just going to take 0.6, that's 0.4, that side rather, is equals to K. So therefore K is equals to 0.2. Simple, straightforward, guys, but you need to understand what does mutually exclusive events mean, right? And we know that it means that if the two events are occurring at the same time, there will be no intersection, right? So 6.1.2 in this case said, for which values of K is A and B complementary events. So it means complementary events, you remember, guys, it says that if you have a probability of A plus probability of not getting A, this thing should be 1. So in this case, they are just simply asking your probability of A and probability of B. If they are complementary to each other, they must be equal to 1. So therefore we know the probability of A, which is given to us there by 0.4. Then we don't know the probability of B is equals to K is equals to 1. So therefore K is going to be equals to 1 minus 0.4, which gives us a probability of 0.6 if they are complementary to each other. So guys, this is just straightforward. I just want to understand if you guys fully understand the concept and the how to illustrate them in terms of numbers. So let's move on to 6.2. All right, 6.2, they given us a statement there. They said in a class of 60 learners, so this is the total number of learners, 8 of the learners they do history, and then 41 of those learners they do maths only, and then 16 of those learners they do none. 16 of those learners they don't do any of the two subjects. So let's move on. 6.2.1 it says here 6.2.1 says calculate the number of learners that do both maths and history. So these learners do both maths and history. So there's no way, guys, you're going to answer this question without drawing a Venn diagram. So here we go. I'm drawing a Venn diagram here. So here we've got maths, then this side it will be history. So they are saying how many learners do history. History only is just going to be 8 learners, and then mathematics is just going to be 41 learners, but we don't know how many are both. So here we're going to put X because that's what they're asking you, and you don't know how many learners are doing both maths and history. So it means 8 minus the intersection here, because you need to remove this intersection from the ones that are doing maths only. So even here on this side is going to be 41 minus X, and then it says here 16 learners take neither. So 16 learners they do nothing, so it's going to be outside of our sample space here because they're not doing any of the subjects, right? So therefore they want us to calculate X. So we know that if we add everything here, the total should be 60. So it's going to be 8 minus X plus 41 minus X plus 16. It must give us a total of 60 in this case. So what we do in this case, simplify. Minus x positive x would cancel out, therefore you have got 8 here, plus 41 is going to be 48, therefore plus 16 here is going to be 65. Let me write properly. It's gonna be 65 minus x is equals to 60. Then for you take 65 that side, you're gonna have minus x is equals to 60 minus 65. Right, so it's gonna be negative x is equals to negative 5. Divide everything by negative 1. So therefore x is equals to 5. So our x value is going to be 5, and therefore 6 point. I hope you understood me, guys. There, if you don't understand, let me know on the comment section below. So 6.2.2, they are asking us now, draw a Venn diagram to illustrate the above information. So we're gonna have to draw the Venn diagram here, the Venn diagram, but now they are asking us to draw it properly without having these x values that we put there initially. So here is our Venn diagram here. We found that x is what? Is 5. Therefore 8, those who take history only, is gonna be 8 minus 5, which gives us 3. Those who take is gonna be 41 minus 5, which gives us 36. So this is maths, and then this is history, and then those who do neither of the subject, they're gonna be 16. So that's our diagram, straightforward. After getting our x, we just need to minus our x here and put the proper or the original values or the actual values of history, maths, and those who do both as well. Right, so therefore move on to 6.2.3. 6.2.3a, it says here, determine the probability of learners taking history only. So the probability of learners who do history only. So these ones here, they do both history. These ones, this part only this part here, only this part here of history. How many are those learners? This, we see only 3 of them. So it's going to be 3 over the total, which is 60 there. That's the probability of learners who do history only. Okay, so what is the probability that a learner does not do maths? So basically this is a complementary, guys. If you know the probability of learners who do maths, so how many learners who do maths? So they've already told us there it's 41 learners who do maths over 60. So now you want the probability of learners who don't do maths. So this is a complementary. Okay, guys, you know it's just gonna be 1 minus those who do maths. So this one will just have to be 1 minus 41 over 60, which gives us a number of 19 over 60. Right, or you can do it in this way, guys. You can come here and say those learners who do maths, they are here, they are 41. So how many learners are left? It means those learners that are left, they are the ones who are not doing maths, which is 3 plus 16, which also will give you this 19 here. Okay, you can do it like that as well. Remove those ones who do maths, and the ones that are left, they're the ones who are not doing maths. All right, so now let's move on here to 6.2.4. 6.2.4, it says the probability that a mathematics learner is also doing science, now they're just trying to confuse you here, is 0.927. So the probability that a learner who do maths also does science is 0.927. So now what is the question? The question says determine the number of learners that take science. So if this is the probability that a learner is doing mathematics and science, so now you just have to multiply this probability by the number of learners that are doing maths. Because we know the number of learners that are doing maths, it is 41. So now the answer here will have to be those that are doing science. Right, so it's going to give us how much here? It's going to give us 38,007. So remember, now we're referring to number of learners, so we can have a 0.00%. So therefore it's going to be only 38 learners. And that's how you would deal with questions like this one, guys. This question here, be careful of this question. It comes a lot in the exam, or the one of 6.2.4. So, and that's how you deal with the question paper like this one. It was paper 1, guys. Let me see you when we do paper 2. I am Gaston Mapala. Let me know what you think and how can we improve on this channel. Solely, this one is for assist you so that you can watch other videos, so that you can be in grade 11 next year. See you on the next one.